Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm continuing my Sun Through the Houses series in Synastry. In this video I'm going to talk about what it means to have your sun falling into someone's ninth house in Synastry, or their sun falling into your ninth house in Synastry. This is one of my favorite ones, I think, because I have Jupiter in my ninth house though, so when someone's sun is falling in my ninth, sometimes it's conjunct to my Jupiter or near. So I really like the feeling. But even in general, a sun in the ninth house overlay in Synastry brings a lot of inspiration and joy. So the sun person can actually be seen by the house person as kind of like a guru, or like an exciting person with a lot of variety that they can bring to the house person's life. So the house person, while not really an emotional overlay, or not really a super intimate or like passionate in the emotional sense overlay, the house person feels that the sun person is exciting, or like a breath of fresh air, or someone they can learn from, someone whose basic way of living life is not disagreeing with the ninth house person's held beliefs about life. So that's one of the factors of this overlay, is that they can be kind of in agreement on values and, what ideas about life or beliefs or religious beliefs or something. The ninth house can represent all of that. Even in some cases, we could see the sun person actively taking the house person around, like in a worldly traveling sense. Like maybe this is an aspect of having a partner who is long distance from you, and then you end up moving there or something. That could be characteristic of a ninth house overlay, specifically sun, being the brightest light in the natal chart. That can be, characteristic of this. But even if the traveling is not of the body, it can be of the mind with the sun in the ninth house overlay. So the sun person can feel like the ninth house person is like a chill buddy, or someone that respects them, someone that's not inhibiting their light, because it does usually feel pretty good when someone looks at us in such a way that we are their teacher or their guide or their guru, or we are this fascinating person to them. Something that's interesting about ninth house overlays that I've found is that it can create this feeling of like being a fan of someone, and it can actually go both ways. They can both be like a fan of each other, and there's a lot of like feeling like the person is right or on the right track, or someone wise, someone that we can learn from, who's got it together. Like, what does it say in my favorite book, Planets in Synastry? I think he says that it's not like necessarily a romantic overlay, but if you do have other romantic or intimate connections in the rest of the Synastry, it helps with that feeling of knowing that the person you're with is not holding some completely crazy beliefs, or things that you just can't agree on, right? So there's a lot of general just agreement on, like I said, ideas about life, and it can be a lot of fun to be with someone like this. But like I said, if there aren't other overlays that show more emotional things, this could be like a friend zone overlay, because there's not a lot of like depth or intimacy in the emotional sense. It's more just a feeling of being on the same team, being enthusiastic about someone, being excited about someone, and feeling like someone broadens your horizons, like a teacher should. So it's not like the most romantic, but it can be very durable if there are other connections that are, yeah, more emotional. Then this one can be a really fun relationship. This can be a couple that talks to each other about anything and has a lot of intellectual discussions and a lot of actual growth as far as the mind goes. That's one of the gifts of this overlay, is that the ninth house person can really feel like they have learned a lot about life from the sun person, and they have gained greater belief in themselves and greater belief in their beliefs from being around the ninth house person, or the sun person, sorry. And the sun person can feel very similarly that the ninth house person and the way that they live their life, the way that they think about things, the broader perspective of the way that the ninth house person thinks about things in their life, it really helps the sun be more like themselves. So this is very different. This is such a contrast to the video I just did about sun in the 8th house, where we can both be kind of fearful of each other or untrusting, or, you know, thinking, what's that person up to, you know, kind of paranoia. This overlay creates kind of the opposite, where there's a lot of openness and trust and expansiveness and even generosity. You know, we feel like we've found someone who is there for us if we need to talk about anything, and someone who has our best interests at heart. We can feel that when we found someone with their sun in our 9th house. So it can be a really good one. Also, yeah, like I said about the traveling, this can be someone who shows you the world, you know, and it can go both ways. I've had where someone's sun is falling in my 9th house and they see me as like the teacher too. So it can be both ways, where there's just like a theme in this relationship of inspiration and of growth and of learning. And it's a more mental connection. It can feel spiritually connected too, though, but spiritually connected in the form of like wisdom, you know, like you found your guru or guide or someone that, yeah, is definitely helping you figure life out and answer those big questions, you know, about what is the meaning of my existence. Look no further than someone with their sun in your 9th house. They can definitely teach you a lot. And there can be kind of like a playful banter with this overlay where, you know, there's just a lot of back and forth. There can be a lot of communicating, and it's fiery, it's enthusiastic, it's inspiring, and yeah, it can definitely be a lot of fun. So I'd love to know your experience of this overlay. Was it like this? Was it not like this? Let me know in the comments, you guys, and thanks for watching. Talk soon.